Well,
Robbie's still
good.
crying, listeners.
Right?
Robbie, how are you doing?
You made me.
I love it.
I
love it.
Here's the thing. You made. I started tearing up. My glasses got foggy. I took my glasses off and I looked at myself in the thing. And I'm like, dude, you look like
Beautiful
an old man. Welcome once again to Chill Filter, the podcast where we drink whiskey so you don't have to, but you probably should. You probably are. And that's why we like you. Hey, welcome to 2023.
Hey-o.
When this comes out, we're not in 2023 yet. Cole and I are recording here just before
Not
New
yet
Year's.
in the future.
Not quite to the future. But if you're listening, email us at chillfilterpodcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram and let us know what stocks to buy a week from
Stonks. Yeah.
So that's enough of the business. And also, you know what? Like, new year, new you, new us.
New us.
If you want to hit us up on patreon.com/chillfiltered, get in at the $10
You'll have
tier.
a new beauty and a new beautiful spouse. Not that your spouse isn't already beautiful.
Dramatically better. That's at any tier on Patreon. But if you want to join us in the new year of 2023 and join us for all of our drink alongs, we try to do one drink along once a month at $10, and you'll be in to win.
Yeah, we got Elijah Craig coming up this month.
Yeah. Cole knocks it out of the park. Cole always has great picks. Cole is the mastermind behind everything. And Cole,
I'm a master picker.
Hey, you can pick your friends. You can pick your nose.
You can't pick your nose. Oh, wait,
you can't pick your friend's nose. You can pick your nose. You can always pick your nose.
Pick my nose every day.
Hey, gladly. Other than your nose needing to be picked, Cole, how you doing, bud?
Crazy, man. It's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
We recorded last Friday or something like that. Saturday,
something like that. What was? Yeah, we did. No, we did Saturday morning, Christmas Eve morning, Saturday morning.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Christmas Eve morning.
Yeah. So my nieces were in town at that point. Were they?
They were in town. Your parents hadn't made it in town yet.
Okay. My parents never made it.
Oh, they never made it. No,
never made it. They flew Southwest, and Southwest.
They stayed in the Southwest.
Yeah, no, they flew out to Midway in Chicago. They were planning on going through Atlanta because that would be a safer bet. But then Southwest was like, screw Atlanta, you're flying back. Like, they originally were flying through Midway in Chicago. And they're like, no, we're going to play it safe and go through Atlanta. So they changed their flight to Atlanta. And like I said, Southwest is like, screw Atlanta, we're going back through Chicago. So they put them back through Midway, and they got stuck in Chicago for at least a day. And they're like, and they tried. And not only that, they didn't even get just stuck in Chicago. They got on like the 23rd or something like that. Or Yeah, it was the 23rd. They were planning on flying in to Virginia, like landing in Virginia. But the 23rd, they got delayed, and they just said, hey, your new flight is leaving at 7 a.m. And it seemed like it was the next day. My mom didn't even realize that it said, it was like the 23rd when they sent this. They said it's now flying out the 26th after Christmas.
Oh, so like 3 days.
So we're all like, well, Christmas is ruined. But then we're like, at least we'll see them. At least we'll be able to spend some good time. And they even extended their leaving date, so we got to spend a little more time with them. And then that didn't even work out. They left on the 26th and got stuck in Chicago, and there was no hope in getting to Richmond. And to this day, Southwest has canceled thousands of flights every day since before Christmas. And I might never fly Southwest again. I don't know if you remember, but last year I went to that wedding and Southwest screwed my flight up. And I was like screw this. I'm going to fly Frontier.
You.
Yeah, exactly. Screw me? No. Screw you.
Screw me once. That's a good time.
Yeah.
Screw me twice.
Shame on you. Yeah, exactly.
The gooses came.
Yeah,
the old man's gotten fat.
Yeah,
I'll never put a penny in Southwest's hat.
No, that's a good way to put it. So yeah, it's kind of sucked not having my parents there, and my sister. And I don't blame her. My sister was like, "Well, we might as well just head up if the whole family's not going to be together." So I'm like, "Okay, well,
I'm still your family."
Of that. Yeah, exactly. No, it wasn't that bad. I was like, hey, I respect whatever decisions you get. I support whatever decision you make, but it kind of did suck.
Yeah.
And yesterday, they were supposed to leave today, my sister, but they left on Tuesday, both my sisters. And then, so I just had the last 2 days off of work and just chilling, getting stuff done and making jewelry. And
we should have
bought me a new gun.
We should have recorded some. Oh,
yeah.
What'd you get?
I got a 1911, Springfield 1911.
Nice 1911.
Yeah, nice 1911. So I don't know. I kind of had been eyeing it for like years, and my jewelry money was decent. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw down, splurge.
Was your jewelry money decent enough that Matt Porter's got to get his ears pierced?
No, sadly. So Matt, you're off the hook. I only got 2 earring orders, but I got a few orders altogether, but only 2. That was his thing. If you got 50 orders of earrings, then he'll get his ears pierced. But maybe I'll just fudge the numbers. Yeah, no, it could still happen. Hey, if you're a listener that was originally from Matt's page, or any listener at all, and you go to my website, which I'm not going to rep because I feel shameless in repping my own website. But if you happen to find my website,
you haven't been shameless in the past.
Have I? No, I feel like for that I haven't.
Wait, no, I'll be shameless. What is your Etsy page?
It's C as in Cole, C Sebald, so ccbaldjewelry.etsy.com. But
okay,
and you that's my page.
But the thing is, like, listeners, if you have somebody who wears jewelry, we joke it's not macaroni jewelry.
It's not macaroni jewelry.
It is really nice stuff
if you're into that,
especially like your gauges, and there's a lot of good woodworking with metalworking. So I'll be shameless and just hit it up.
Media.
And then also just comment on that, like ADHD whiskey sent me here.
Yeah.
And if you, the other thing is, if you don't listen to ADHD whiskey or watch ADHD whiskey, you're missing out.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, really, if you listen to anything we've said thus far in this episode, listen to that. Check out, if you haven't heard of ADHD whiskey, shame on you. Shame on you. But you can make it up to us by watching his last 50 videos, or at least the last few, and then you'll be hooked.
So I feel bad because I've been progressing from the beginning of his YouTube page.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I feel dumb because I really want to reach out and be like, oh my gosh, Matt, you said this, but it's like episode whatever.
It's a little too late.
But it's so long ago. And like people mention, like, and we're like, we get to a point where people bring stuff up and I'm like, I don't remember that. You'll bring stuff up on the podcast
a week ago.
I don't remember saying that, but oh man. So I always feel dumb. Like I want to like be like, that was the funniest line I've heard in a long time, but I don't ever reach out but it's good stuff.
Sometimes I'll reach out for like at least in the last 2 weeks for Matt.
Yeah, but I'm not
usually
there.
If it's more than 2 weeks,
I am doing
really
the front to the back.
Impressive.
Yes. But not the live things. The live things go long, so I just do his.
Yeah, they go like 3 hours sometimes. Yeah,
they do, and I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody
unless you're watching it live, and I'm not
unless you're watching live.
Yeah,
everyone got time for that, but some people don't have time for that.
Well, if you're there, you got time for that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what else, man? Like parents didn't come, sisters didn't come.
Got some good gifts. I love gifts. I got a Yeti cooler, which I didn't even ask for, but I had on my Amazon wish list, I had a Pelican cooler, which I was like, is cheaper than a Yeti cooler. Probably does a similar job, but yeah, I'll take a Yeti cooler any day. So I've already got my stickers to put on it. I haven't put them on it yet. But one of the stickers I love is the No Step on Snack, which I finally have a place for. And then I have a few Del Box stickers. And I have a sticker. I don't know where I'm putting my
Del Box stickers yet.
Dude, mine's going on my Yeti.
That's
cooler.
Good call, man.
Not cup, because I'm cooler.
All I have is a cup.
That's okay, Robby.
Me only buy cups.
Me only. me lame. Me only. No.
I'm not a man who drinks out of a coupe.
Yeah, that's true. You can't always be a fancy coupe glass
Let
man.
Me see your
drinking
coupe.
Lafroig.
Are you drinking Lafroig Lorigan?
I'm drinking. Yeah, it was between that and Weller 12, and I was like, I already had like a weird sour mix in here, so I felt like the Lafroig would tamper down the sour mix.
Well, Cole, hold on, don't take a drink yet. Let me see your coupe, baby. Coupe, baby, coupe.
Oh, nice. I thought you were going for the thong song, but that's even nicer.
You know what I like to do with the thong song?
Please do tell.
Anytime I use tong to tong tong tongs.
Oh, totally. That's exactly what I do too. I mean, isn't that natural?
See them tongs,
baby. Yep. Tong,
I love
tong,
when I pick it up.
Tong.
Baby, I'm gonna pick it up. Click,
Nice.
clack, clack. Yeah, I do tong song for all the tongs. My mom.
Do you do that at school?
No.
Well, none of those kids at school would even recognize that song.
No,
so.
I guarantee you, maybe like a third of our listeners right now know what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
But I did. My mom, so like for Christmas, she wanted a Roku. Got that for her, and she wanted silicone tongs. And as she opened it, I sang to myself. As my mom, I couldn't sing it to my mom, and I felt bad for singing in my head as she opened her tong to tong tong tongs. So,
well, you can laugh to yourself.
I did,
but you felt bad. You're like, shame on you, Robby, in your own head.
Well, the thing is, like, knowing the origin of the tong song, you don't want to sing the thong song to your mom,
and with your kid probably in the same room.
Yeah,
3 kids for that record.
Yeah,
Robby,
what?
You want to hear something crazy?
I do. I do.
Speaking of 3 kids,
I go crazy. Okay, hold on. Wait. Isn't okay? Drew Hill had "Oh Crazy Baby, just thinking about you lately." Who's the tong song guy? What was his name?
Cisco, right?
He was in Drew Hill that sang "Go Crazy, Crazy, Crazy Cold. Let me hear what you got to say."
I like this. Yeah. You know what I want to sing? What's that song? Who sings the song that's like, "Be my butterfly, sugar, baby"?
That's Crazy Hill? Crazy.
No. You're onto something.
It's Crazy Town. Crazy Town?
Crazy Town. That sounds about right. Yeah. I don't know why that came into my head. But we're on a roll.
Crazy, baby.
Yeah, it's crazy, baby.
Roll.
So speaking of crazy, baby.
Speaking of rolling that beautiful bean footage, get yourself some Bush's Baked Beans.
Hey, all right. Keep that out for a moment because I have a Bush's Baked Beans moment.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't say this too loud, and Miles and people that know my wife, don't make it public on Instagram or anything like that, but we are pregnant. Yeah.
Seriously?
Bush's Baked Beans moment. Yeah, we're having a second kid.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're like 11 months or 11 weeks, not 11 months. That's different.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm praying for a girl, another girl. I want to be Robby Deadlow team, but we did find out that it is a single and not a twin.
Get what you get. You don't throw a fit, man. Congratulations.
No. 100%. And when my son, years from now, listens to this episode, know I'm grateful for him.
Oh man, congratulations,
I was kind of
buddy.
For a girl.
You were planning to tell me this on the podcast.
Are you crying?
A little bit, man. I'm happy for you.
Thanks, man.
It's just it's not as easy as
he's totally crying, listeners.
No, go on. It's stuff like that gets taken for granted.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm happy for you, man. And
absolutely. And it ain't easy having kids sometimes. And a shout out to all of our listeners that may or may not have had a hard time popping out a kid.
And shout out to all the listeners that popped out kids and are having hard times now. I feel you. Boy.
That's true.
Oh man,
that's a good way to put it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't believe I can't believe you held that in that long.
Oh, totally. So we'll find out the gender within the next episode. By the next episode, I'll know the gender. So.
Oh man, proud of you, man.
Thanks.
Good job getting it in.
Yeah, put it in there, man. Speaking of put it in there, I forgot to mention last week we talked about the gifts that we were giving to my family and my nieces. I don't know why
what was the big gift you gave them?
Entered the conversation with that. But we got them a trip to Disney World with us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so they're really excited. And we thought, what better thing? They're always asking, hey, uncle, hey, auntie, when will you take us to Disney World? Because they know that Heather loves Disney World. Mm-hmm. And so we're like, maybe one day when you're like teenagers or something, but we pulled it off this year. So we're going in not September, we're going in February. In less than by the time this comes out, less than 7 weeks.
Well,
so Robby's still crying, listeners. But Robby, how are you doing?
You made me.
I love it.
Here's the thing. I started tearing up. My glasses got foggy. I took my glasses off and I looked at myself in the thing. And I'm like, dude, you look like an old man.
No,
beautiful old man. I'll take that.
Yeah. Both.
No, man, I'm good. I'm not as good as you guys.
I know, right?
Although in 9 months, I'll be less sleep deprived than you guys.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
No, we're good. Goodish. We've had some sicknesses go through the house.
I saw the picture of Finley. Poor girl.
Yeah, she was feeling sick, and so luckily,
your kids are so cute that seeing them sick just makes me sad.
Oh man! Like last 2 nights ago. So I think we turned the corner though. Last night nobody woke us up, although I didn't take any melatonin. I'm feeling a little sickish. I didn't take any NyQuil because I was like, Chelsea's got to work today, and I got the day off. So I was like, if a kid comes in and I took melatonin or NyQuil, and my wife has to take care of it, no bueno. So they didn't wake up, so I kind of got a good night's sleep. And she's been happy today, but 2 nights ago, man, had to get change her sheets once. She sweat through a bunch of sheets, so I was like, changed her sheets for her, and then put her back down, and then 2 hours later, she woke me up and said, Dad, I can't fall back to sleep. And it was after that happened, I was like, I didn't fall back to sleep either. So then turned the shower on in the bathroom, did a steam shower, and I rocked her to sleep. And I have not rocked that baby to sleep. Yeah, Finley. Have not done that since she was probably 8 months old, 9 months old.
Did you keep her on, was her head on your shoulder?
Yes. And I could see her face. And it was just like when she was a baby, because she would just every once in a while open her eyes, see me, and smile, and then go back to sleep. So, and then
amazing.
And then yesterday, oh gosh, she puked. I was like, okay, you need a nap. We'll lay in my bed. Laid in my bed, our bed, because that works a little bit better. And she puked all over our bed. So I did so much laundry. But anyway, today seems okay.
That's good.
Yeah. And then, things have been all right. It's been a good Christmas. I'll tell you one. Here's a dead low life hack.
Life hack.
We had a couple of days where it was 40 degrees, and then we had one day where 50 degrees.
Nice.
And rain and snow melted. And then today it was freezing last night. Oh, wow. That's the best time to scoop all the dog poop that piled up, because freezing poop is easier. Yeah, way better. So anyway, got a lot done in the backyard. Totally. Got the solo stove running. I have not tonight, Cole.
Yeah.
I plan on using the pizza stone.
But exciting. That's the plan. Do you have a what do they call that thing?
A paddle? Pizza?
No, there's a name.
I do have one, but it's not great. But I have one. So we're gonna try it tonight. After we get done recording, I looked up a bunch of things. A peel, yes. A pizza peel. I looked up a bunch of things to have the best pizza dough for sliding off, and how to do that all. Nice. Because the thing you got me is you have to do it right.
Yeah, or it'll
I got to be able to put it in it's high enough temp.
It's got to slide off.
Exactly. If I don't slide the whole pizza off,
it'll ruin.
It may not work. Yeah. So I'm a little nervous about it.
No, you'll do great. You should practice a little bit. Yeah.
Well, today's the practice day.
Okay.
Today's practice day. I bought some frozen pizzas just in case. We'll do it.
Nice. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that.
That's cool.
That being said, too, I have used so many of our Christmas gifts right now, and I don't remember who gave us what off the top of my head. But I'm using
I'll try to jog your memory.
I'm using my ball mat.
Your ball mat? That's from Nathan Anthony.
My ball mat. For all of my ice and everything out here right now. And I like to say I'm using my Bush's Baked Bean mugs.
That was also Nathan Anthony.
The ice drinks. Yeah. I used Ben Klepsy to give us the canvas tote bags.
Yep.
Use that already. Yeah, I took some whiskey bottles to a party.
Nice.
And then our Asian oak things from
that was John Hughes.
Friggin Voldemort Hughes.
Yeah.
Use those to take the sample of Redbreast 27 to my good friend Chris Kelpin. and blew his friggin' mind with that.
Yeah, his mind is blown.
Oh man. Anyway, using gifts. You guys are great. It's a new year. It's a new us.
Gifts that don't stop giving.
Should we take a walk? I feel like it's walk time. We've gone over.
One thing I wanted to follow up on.
We've laughed, we've cried, and now Cole wants to shed some blood. So Cole.
Yeah. So with Finley falling asleep on you, Beck, while my family was over, she had a little bit of a hard time sleeping, but not that bad.
Yeah,
like she would just wake up once. And sometimes she'd just be like, I need you. And like she wouldn't say, she'd just look up at me and be like, ugh. And so and like arms out, like hold me. And so I just pick her up and put her head on. First, I kept her up close and her head would rest on my beard. But then after a while, I'd sink her down a little bit and her head would rest on my shoulder. And then she's good. And then I just put her back down. She looks up at me and just knows that I love her so much. And it's a good day.
Dude, being a daddy and getting to hold
girl dad
kid who's not screaming.
Yeah.
A
girl that stops screaming. No, it'll be great. It'll be great.
You're gonna get a little boy. I'm putting my bet on boy.
Just we should do one of those. Last time we did like a YouTube live, or not a YouTube live, but Instagram live, saying like, all right, am I gonna drink the Jack Daniels? Or I forget what the other the other thing was that was like obviously a girl or something like that.
The Janice Daniels.
Or Jacqueline Daniels.
Oh, that would be better.
Yeah. But with that, since we mentioned the word Jacqueline, I think it's time to send it to break. So we'll be right back. And we're back. Let's go over some history.
I'm done crying.
We mentioned what we're drinking this week.
Well, that's fine. Yeah,
tears,
no, we mentioned what
shed.
We mentioned what's distilling or what's aging in the barrel.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't come out the bunghole. But
yeah. But it's aging all right. So yeah. I don't know if we mentioned what we're drinking today, though. We are drinking Four Roses, single barrel strength, specifically a barrel pick that is a OBSO.
Oh,
different than we have before. This one's 116 proof.
Yes.
Quick shout out. Whoa. I just wanted to say a shout out before I get to anything else to all the listeners who contributed to this survey for the 2022 Chili Awards. We had a great time. So, we have definitely covered Four Roses before.
Speaking of Chili Awards, when will that be available on YouTube, Cole?
This week? Yeah. So this was my week. It was like my sister was in my editing room, and I was like, I should probably go in there and edit. And I was like, it's the latest episode has come out, at least on YouTube. So I apologize. It'll come out soon. It'll probably come out by the time this is out, if not earlier.
If it comes,
yes.
If it doesn't, we'll try harder.
But it's the Chili's Awards. It'll come out. So this will be our 6th Four Roses episode. And it's definitely not our first single barrel strength episode. This will be our 3rd. Episode 38, Adam and I, we drank the OESQ. And episode 187, Robby and I drank the OESF. And that's what Robby was entry buzzing on because he had a little extra of that.
No, I had 2.
But maybe it was one of the ones that I just sent you, just like when I visited or something. I'm like, you got to try this or something like even though we've already had it.
Maybe I'll have to go back and listen to it. Did we have a big split on that episode? Maybe I drank the wrong thing on that episode.
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Go listen to episode 187.
Yee.
Yeah. That was a while ago. I mean, this is episode 235. Like we're closing in on 250 soon. It's crazy.
Anyway. You know what? We're close. Mm-hmm. Oh man, no, we're not close. We're about 100 episodes away from being able to. If you just started listening, you would be able to listen to for 1 episode a day for every year.
Yo, check this out.
Okay.
Average episode about an hour. When we get to 240 episodes, divide that or multiply that by an hour, and we'll have 10 days straight worth of listening.
No
Isn't
sleep.
that crazy?
No.
Yeah, no sleep.
Sleep.
No. Till chill filter. Listen all the chill
for
filter.
10 days.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Good old Beastie Boys reference. Never hurts. Never hurts.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of the Beastie Boys,
yeah.
I assume we're doing an OBSO episode. There's got to be some yeast in here.
Yeah, so the Yeastie, actually, that's what most of the history is about today. Again. So the Yeastie Boys bringing it back. So, yeah. What's the line in Fight for Your Right? Where they say, "Mom, you're just jealous it's the Yeastie Boys." That's what it is. Say, Mom yelling, "What's that noise?" Mom, you're just jealous it's the Yeastie Boys. Anyway, I've probably told you this before, and I probably told you.
You wake up late for school and you don't want to go. Your dad says something,
no. No, your mom. You asked your mom, please, but she still says no. Dun, 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 dun,
your dad took away your best chill filtered.
Chili Mag.
Chili Mag.
Yeah.
Daddy,
good stuff. Go listen to License to Ill, listeners, and you're welcome.
Okay, so anyway, OBSO.
So yeah, we drank OESF, and Robby was drinking that. So we've covered a lot of Four Roses history, but today we're gonna do another deep dive into yeast strains and what makes a yeast strain different from another. And we're not gonna go too deep, but deeper than normal.
If you want to go deep, listen to Embellish Pod's his first season.
Oh yeah, he would nail it.
He does a great yeast.
I remember that. Yeah, I don't think I fully listened to that episode, but I remember on Instagram seeing that. Yeah.
No, it was great.
You know what? He needs to have the dudes from Wilderness Trail on, and I assume John's like big enough to where he could be like, "Hey, Wilderness Trail, get on the podcast."
Here's the thing: I don't know if you need to be big enough because, like John says, he downplays his numbers. He'll be like, "I just ask," and they say yes.
Yeah. Except for we try to ask sometimes. Like I'm gonna say it, Robby. The dude from that brewery that I hit up, he still hasn't hit me up. So I got to reach out again and just be like, bruh, hit us up. Don't look at our YouTube numbers. Listen to our audio numbers because our YouTube numbers are still a little small. And hey, if you want to support us in another way, listen to us on Instagram. I mean, on podcast
on Institute. Cole and I are launching our own channel called Institute.
It's like Kanye or Trump who like, oh, you won't listen to me on the main things? Well, I'll make my own.
We got our own now.
Yeah,
take that.
The Institute. Yeah. So, if you want to support us, actually,
Main Creek Media.
Main Creek. No, yeah. If you wanna support us in a different way, hey, check us out on YouTube if you haven't already, and maybe just keep that on in the background and don't watch us, but just watch us or listen to us because we actually edit them differently. So maybe you'll hear some different things if you do both, or maybe you should just listen to both. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. We've talked about this before, but for those who haven't heard or those who don't remember, Four Roses has 10 different bourbon recipes, 2 different mash bills, and 5 different yeast strains. Then the combination of each of 1 mash bill and 1 yeast strain makes a total of 10 different ones, and they all have codes. For example, the code on what we're drinking today is OBSO. And the O is standard for all bourbons. You'll always see an O. And so is the S. So you'll always see O something, S something. But the B in this case represents the B mash bill, which is 60% corn, 35% rye, and 5% malted barley. Very high rye. And then the E mash bill alternately is 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% malted barley. High rye, but not as high rye as B. So there's B and E. And then there are 5 yeast strains. There's V, K, O, Q, and F. V is known for the delicate fruit notes. K for the slight spice. O, rich fruit. Q, floral essence. and F, herbal notes. Don't know what that means, but take a guess. So each yeast strain is apparently different, is apparently very different, and obviously has a strong impact on the outcome of bourbon. But I went down this long rabbit hole of different kinds of yeast, and I found a buttload of variety.
Hoy.
The fact is, without yeast, we wouldn't have whiskey. Pretty much the truth. There might be other ways to convert sugar into alcohol, but yeast's job, and it's a very simple job, and that's what they do. They eat sugar and thrive on oxygen and sugar, is they turn sugar into carbon dioxide and alcohol. Seems simple, and in a way it is, but these living single-celled organisms make the process of alcohol production what it is and what we know it to be. And there is no easier way, as far as I know. Hats off. There's apparently, I didn't write this down, but apparently in Japan, there is like a shrine. I don't know which distillery, maybe brewery, but I don't know where it was. But there's like a shrine to like yeast and like, thank you for doing what you do, yeast. It's like, it's amazing. Anyway, recently a Scotch distiller, blender specifically, Don Livermore, the master blender for Hiram
Keep
Walker
drinking
and
his
Sons.
product, you have liver less.
Yeah, exactly. Liver more, liver less.
He
said, quote, yeast is probably your most important flavor component in whiskey, which is a huge claim. Most people think about mash bill or potentially age or barrels would be the number one, but Don Livermore disagrees. Some yeasts are handed down generation to generation, and even recently, we were talking about Wilderness Trail and their proprietary yeast strains. But some companies just use baker's yeast. Here's an example. Lafroig only uses baker's yeast as their yeast. So there's many different kinds of yeasts that can turn sugar into alcohol. But one of the other ones is some distilleries will use a wild yeast that they just kind of get from the air, which is something I like. For example, I do a sourdough.
Starter. I was going to say a lot of people just make your wild yeast from like sourdough. Yeah.
And my sourdough starter, I started in Arizona in February. I started on April 1st, 2020, and it's still running. It's still rolling these days.
No fooling.
The same kind of yeast has reproduced a million times, not a million times, but at least 100 plus, or at least at this point, it's been 2.5 years. So probably closer to closing in on 1,000 times that it is reproduced daily, at least.
Ew.
Which is pretty cool.
You eat that?
Yeah. No, but like you feed it, you remove it, you feed it. It's great. And it makes great bread. So, but basically one of the things about doing wild yeast is that yeast is like what you would consider local yeast. It's like, do you know what the word terroir means?
It's like a terrarium where you have an enclosed system in which people, objects, nouns, adverbs reproduce rapidly, adverb-wise.
So speaking of which, that reminds me, you ever read Vonnegut?
Vonnegut? No.
Barely, never good.
Nonagut.
Yeah. So I was reading Slaughterhouse-Five, which I expected. I never read Vonnegut before, and I expected him to be like, because he's kind of like a 20th century classic novelist, and I was expecting something super deep and super, like
duper
classic literature. All right. But he was trippy. And one of the, like, he was kind of like multiple. It was like, you know how you watch the movie Crash or like Traffic or something where it's like multiple things and they all merge into one.
Man,
it wasn't exactly they merged into one.
Those movies for a while.
But there were like different storylines throughout the whole book of Slaughterhouse-Five. And one of them was like a dude that was like put in like a terrarium, basically like an alien terrarium. And that's what I got. So that reminded me of that when you said terrarium where people reproduce. And that actually reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And adverbs. You totally said
they
that
grow
word.
quickly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And no, but terroir is like the French word. And I believe it's pronounced, Jason Preston can correct me because he speaks French on the regular. Yeah. He's like, wah-wah. No, he's not. He's very nice in his Frenchiness. Although French people are awesome for the record, and French Canadians are awesome. They get a bad rep of being snooty when I think most French people are amazing. That being said,
I think
Preston,
it's
correct me
the
on
outrageous
terroir.
French accent. I was like, "Hello, cool." If I like you do that French accent, everything raises up.
Yeah, Jason can agree with that.
You
totally.
raise your voice up to look down your nose.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it is.
That's funny. That must be it. Yeah, it must be it. But yeah, terroir is kind of like the local land. Comes from the Latin like terra, which basically means earth or land.
Yeah.
Like terrarium, you use that word, which is similar. But it's like in wine, for example, like certain parts of France have different geology and dirt and landscape. Yeah, and climate. Yeah, exactly. And so the wine is going to taste different from the dirt it's planted in, and the climate and the ecosystem it's planted in. Same with wild yeast.
You know what?
All this talk comes back to wild yeast.
A wine snob. I forgo being a wine snob. I'm a dirt snob. I love going to France every year, and I will just munch the
sniffing that dirt.
Yep, and I get my nose all up in it, and I like. Oh, you drink the wine? I eat the dirt.
Yeah, I'm a dirt sommelier. Yeah, that'd be cool.
It probably
got to be a scene for that.
Geology, that's a scene for that, right?
Yeah, there's a scene for that. Yeah, they just don't normally eat it, but you can. You can do that.
I've been failing all my
you can be the first.
Geometry. My geology classes.
That's funny. That's like astrology or astronomy.
When I was in college, I did want to be a geologist for a little while because I took a geology class. I'm like,
dude,
this is
I love that class.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah. Working for the USGS or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I took a class my freshman year, first semester, freshman year at college. And it was a geology class, and the teacher was like old and mean, and apparently the class average was a D-. I got a B+. This guy, and it was so interesting. That's why I loved it. And I had my like study zone for just geology. Like I had this one library in this one spot, and I was like, all I study in this spot is geology.
You were crazy, man.
Yeah, I knew the difference between feldspar and shale.
Columnar jointing.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love columnar jointing. You know what I love? Isostasy. And
columnar jointing was all I remember.
Hey, hexagons, baby.
Looks like this moment's hexagon by. So back, can we drink yet?
All right. So, but yeast is diverse, and slightest changes in yeast can to the ecosystem of each yeast, because yeast is its own ecosystem. Like, you don't need to be in the terroir of France to have a good yeast. You can get yeast everywhere in the country. I don't know about like Antarctica or something, everywhere in the world, but I bet there is yeast in Antarctica. It's everywhere. It's a single-celled, kind of like a fungi type thing. But anyway, the slightest change can have a crazy impact on the outcome of the product. And to prove this, feel free to look up types of yeast for brewing or distilling on Google. You will see that there are not a few types. And even in the brewing or beer world, they will change your end product substantially.
Well,
all that to say,
you get an infection of yeast, and that'll change your end product.
That'll change your end product. That's for sure. Can dudes get yeast infections?
I'd assume you can get one in your butt. Yeah.
Yeah, or like
you probably get one
somewhere
in
your front hole. Yeah.
And just Sorry.
Feel free to Google that one too.
Grandpa. Oh yeah.
All that to say, Four Roses provides a solid variety just in one product, and that's their single barrel strength bottling, 10 different recipes. And this one we're drinking today should be very different from our others for a few reasons. One, this is a different mash bill. This is the higher rye mash bill. So this is the B mash bill, which is 60% corn, 35% rye, 5% malted barley. And then secondly, it is the O yeast strain, which we've never had yet, which to remind us, O is known for rich fruit on the
oh
palate.
My goodness, it's fruit.
Yeah. And so it's 116 proof, aged 9 years, 10 months, single barrel store pick for ABC Virginia. I was glad to have gotten this one. And these are somewhat rare. They're not extremely rare, but they are allocated.
Tricky.
Usually. I mean, they're like single barrel products.
Tricky.
If you get a single barrel from Four Roses, it'll likely be this. And total wine price, it's usually about 80 to 90 for this bottle. And that's what I got. Oh, we do have another one on deck for the future, and that's an OESK, but we'll get to that.
Oh, gosh, you scared me for a second because I was looking at my bottle. I said OES, and then you said K. I drank the F. I thought, uh-oh.
Yeah, you drank the F. So I still got to send you the K. So I have the bottle, beautiful bottle. Let's pour it out. Oh, and the cork pop.
That's the thing. Like, almost interrupted it. Ooh, they do, they do the OES, whatever, the lettered versions, and look at the codes. Same bottles or single barrels. So it's one of those things sometimes where you just gotta, like, if you see Four Roses on the shelf, you see that barrel shape.
Yeah, but it's also so the single barrel, it's a little bit different than the single barrel strength, because I believe the single barrel without the barrel strength is only one recipe, and I forget which one it is, but I believe it's only specifically one recipe.
I believe you're correct, but the bottles look the same, so you always got to check.
They do. This one has more gold on it. See that shimmery gold, YouTube watchers? Yeah, the other one doesn't have the gold.
Well, the single barrels always have that little like leathery kind of.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, the private selection leather. Yeah.
Ooh,
great nose.
Sharp sweetness, little bit of vapor.
Berries,
appley,
but like
berries,
light, like a mixed berry candy as opposed to just like straight blackberries, raspberries.
Almost like
nice and sweet,
like a Welch's. What is it? The fruit snack,
Concord grapes.
Fruit snack. No, not even that. Like that. Like more like a fruit snack, like kind of a sweetness.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm liking the nose. Nose is great. While we're talking and sniffing, I had a little bit of entry buzz on the Weller 12, and my score was low. So I entry buzzed, then did the Weller 12. I'd probably put Weller 12 about 8.5. It was much better.
After 7s last time, wasn't it?
I was in the 6s.
Oh,
I did not like it without an entry buzz. That being said, I mean, that's something to say. What?
No, sorry. I leaned back for a second, and then you can see the window pane light behind me, which is all right. Whatever. It's an empty wall. But did I tell you I bought something for the wall? I think I told you last time.
You told me.
Yeah. So
don't he showed me. Let it be a surprise. Yeah. Let it be a surprise. We're gonna watch YouTube.
Yeah. Maybe there will not be a blank wall behind me next time, listeners. So maybe it'll be 2 weeks. But great nose on this.
Yeah, I went for a sip.
Just a good bourbon. Yeah, please tell me about it also.
Yeah, first sip, I got to go for my second sip just to make sure I know where I'm at. But it's a good bourbon. It's a really good bourbon. Proof wise, it's a little hot.
Yeah, it is.
There's no bitterness on it. It's a little more, I want to say, appley than fruity, but it's bright, and I'm liking it so far. I'm gonna go for a second sip.
So first sip, I don't want to give it a full review on the first sip, but I think it is a little lacking on flavor, like all around flavor, especially compared to the nose. I wish it had similar to the nose properties on the palate, but it is a little light. I wouldn't say on the alcohol is not light. I definitely feel the burn. Yeah, it is strong for 116. But the flavor's not following yet. But I'm gonna take another sip and get a better idea.
Second sip, I'm getting it's definitely like. Actually, it's probably more like mixed berry kind of sweetness, but like a granulated sugar sweetness, and there's a lot of heat. Like it might be one of those ones. I'm interested to see what it does with water and ice because, you're not getting a lot of flavor. It reminds me of, gosh, what was it? 2020 Stag, where it was just too hot to really appreciate.
No, that was we were thinking it was 20 Handy was too hot.
Handy, that's right. Yes, and it just wasn't things where it just hit too hot where you couldn't really pull a lot out of it. It's kind of what I'm getting on with this. But that being said, it is nose wise, great nose neat. And And then it's just hot with a little bit of berry and then like granulated sugar kind of sweetness to it. But it is sweet. There's some sweet heat there.
It's kind of dry to me, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, especially on the finish.
I mean, I wonder if that's just kind of a product of the heat, maybe.
Yeah, it might be. It very well might be. With the water on it, I'm still getting the same kind of nose. Very pleasant. But I want to say this is not as fruity as the neat pour.
I think it goes more appley than fruit. And I keep saying that. Maybe I'm just talking to hear myself talk. But nose is great. I like both noses. Both noses have been good. Did you get a little bitter?
It's the burn is still there. And it's like that. The burn may or may not bring on that dryness, but it's worse with water. It's almost bitter.
There's a little bitter note there.
Yeah.
The front end, it's really there's a lot more. Here comes the heat.
Yeah.
A little more viscous on the front end, which I like that mouthfeel to start.
So far.
It definitely is getting into a little bitterness and a little more heat. Like not a fun heat. Gosh.
Might be even hotter with some drops of not meant for water.
I'm getting I'm gonna take a little sip here, some water and some cold. Yeah, water didn't make it better.
Not good with water. Yeah, and I expected it to be honest.
Definitely better. So far, neat is best.
Yeah. Now it's time for a little ice.
So we have I just got like this ice from the gas station because our freezers are full, which is a blessed and great place to be. But I don't have to do so many chompy chomps firing the holes. Oh, Cole's got to fire in the hole.
Did I tell you? Was it last week I told you someone said, do it off mic, Robby?
Yeah. Speaking of fire in the holes, tell us about your bunghole yeast infections. We'd love to know if that's a thing.
Yeah, if that's a thing, let us know. And you can just hit us up on message, not just on the comments if you want.
But if you go into comments, that's some alpha move there. Going in your business.
Alpha move. Yeah, that's great. Giving it the old spin J for a little bit of ice.
Yeah, making it dizzy.
Speaking of which, how about that Dram Pup? Hey, Dram Pound, send us another drawing that Dram Pup drew.
Did you say drawing?
I do. Did you recognize that?
I did. Say it again.
That's a Philadelphia thing. Drawing.
Oh,
instead
my goodness.
Of drawing.
So here's the thing, and we need to do this tour versus.
Yeah, we got to do that.
What do you?
Yeah, and so many people are going to side.
What do you say
on this? Tour.
So I have it's come up I'll listen to sports radio and stuff like that, and I've heard people say it the way you say it. I'm like, gosh, maybe I'm wrong.
They're right.
Oh man.
No, we'll put it to a vote and we'll decide next week. So add that to your what always good to choose.
Okay.
Ooh, good nose.
Nose is not bad. It's not as good as it was with ice or water. It's muted for me. Yeah. Not as great. It's like
all right. Just took a sip. The burn is gone, which is great. The bitter is slightly there. Huh. It's just I prefer it neat. Kind of a weird post finish. A little bit bitter, just not good flavor. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this. Although the worst pour was definitely the water pour.
Water was the worst.
Yeah.
I think iced might be my favorite. I like the iced. I don't mind the iced.
I got to go back to the neat.
Neat was, I will say, neat was a treat. It didn't knock me off my feet.
Ooh.
A sheep likes to bleat. And I don't. I will not sing praises of this.
Seat.
Okay. Yeet, yeet.
Fight
Roll
me.
the cup.
In the meat?
Oh, you watch yourself.
Not that meat, like my muscle meat.
That meat?
I don't know.
Please don't
move
repeat.
Just move on.
So I think neat is good. It's not great.
Ugh.
Iced, I don't mind. Oh, you go back to neat and don't like it?
No, I went back to the ice pour with a little more dilution. I don't think this is meant to be watered
So
down.
I like iced wise. It was first sip. There's a little bitterness on the far back end for me. It's not off-putting. Like I could keep drinking it and then be okay with it, maybe. But it's not too bad. Neat wise, I think is probably the best pour. But water is a close second for me. I'm gonna go for my second sip.
All right. I think I'd say I went back to the neat pour. It's definitely the best pour. But I am formulating my rating now.
You got
Are you ready for the rating?
Colbot, let me hear your rating.
This is a 7.2. This is the worst single barrel strength Four Roses I've ever had. I'm usually really impressed by this. Anything they put out that's single barrel strength. This is a letdown. Like this one might be one of those bottles. Remember when we tried Weller Full Proof? And I was like, let me know if anyone wants this. And Brian Rapp reached out and we made it work.
Is this your first sub of what of the year? Is our first episode of the year?
My first sub of what of the year? Yeah.
Okay.
I am disappointed. I'm giving this did I give it a rating yet?
7.4, you said?
Something like that. Yeah, let's say 7.4. Or
I think you said 7.3. 7.2?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's go with 3. Let's meet in the middle. 7.3.
Okay. Mine's 7.4. Is it bad? No. Is it good? No. Is it okay? Yeah. Is it like if you offered this to me, would I turn it down? No, I wouldn't turn it down.
No.
But is it, I mean, especially when you go like availability and price. So it's not kind of where I want to be. So 7.4.
So much for strong fruit or whatever the.
Yeah. Fruity notes. The F was the fruity notes or the O is the fruity notes.
Yeah. O was for rich fruit.
Yeah.
A little bit of that, I guess.
I mean, we got there was strong, like I vacillated between mixed berries and apple.
Oh, it vacillated all right.
It did. Nose-wise, it was great. Like this is a good sniffing whiskey.
Yeah, best nose.
Listeners,
the best
if you
feature
want
was the nose.
Whiskey,
yeah.
You want to sniff in whiskey, sniff this yeast. Right? There you go. All right, man. Should we take a walk?
The Yeastie Boys. Yeah, let's go for a walk. Let's bring it on back when we get back from break. We'll talk about Whiskey World News. So here we go to break.
And we're back. Top part of the show. We're reading an article. We talk about it. Didn't write it. Gonna read it. Here we go. This comes from, now we're getting classical. The New York Times. Written by Clay Risen. Assume Risen. The E jumps over the S to make the I say its own name. So here we go.
Yeah.
It's titled, Where Did All the Bargain Bourbon Go? Blame the Whiskey Mania. And if Whiskey Mania is a problem, I'm your biggest culprit. Bourbon and rye used to be workday drinks, but prices have been driven way up by speculators, a scramble for bragging rights, and a large shot of hype. In June, 2 men in Virginia, Cole was one, were charged with an unusual form of insider trading, selling information about when and where rare bottles of whiskey were going to appear in state-run liquor stores. To an outsider, their scheme may sound strange. To many bourbon collectors, it is just another cautionary tale from today's frenetic whiskey market, and one that some probably wish they had thought of first. According to prosecutors, Edgar Garcia, that wasn't Cole, an employee of Virginia's Aqua Control Board, fed the confidential information to Robert Adams, never mind, Cole wasn't one of these guys, a private collector who sold the list to scores of people on Facebook for up to $400 each. Yeah. Virginia requires that hard liquor be sold at government-owned outlets, which is a prohibition post-prohibition kind of thing. Did you know that?
What is?
State-run liquor stores.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Is that what happened with Idaho?
Yep. I mean, if you have a state-run liquor board, it's post-prohibition thing. Although you still can get like when you find something,
perks.
There are perks. There are nice things about it. Virginia requires that hard liquor be sold at government-owned outlets, where it is priced significantly lower than in most other states. To control the inevitable rush by bourbon lovers to snap up sought-after bottles for less, the state keeps distribution details a secret, announcing the releases at random times via email and on the board's Facebook and Instagram.
Yep, Instagram.
Because I always get the notifications for the Virginia drops.
Yeah, that's good.
Because we share the Instagram page.
You can already assume that I'm panicking at that point.
Yeah. I was there within 20 minutes, wrote one buyer on Facebook after releasing November, only to find the shelves already picked over. At least 10 people in the store when I got there. The willingness of Mr. Garcia and Mr. Adams, who both pleaded guilty to commit a felony just to sell information, and the apparent eagerness of others to buy, is a measure of how much the decade-long bourbon boom has turned into a mania. I'll go and stop there because we're running a little long.
No,
but Cole, any thoughts on the bourbon mania?
Yes, actually. Last week rather, I showed up to the closest ABC store to my work within 7 minutes of the drop announcement. There were at least 20 people in line before me. And I only got a bottle of Eagle Rare, I want to say. Yeah, I only got a bottle of Eagle Rare, which, I'll take a bottle of Eagle Rare here and there. But here's the crazy thing. As I was walking out of the store, I talked to the guy that's leaving the door with me and say, hey, I got here within 7 minutes. And how did you find out that, or when did you get your alert? Because what I assumed was that he got the email before I did, or the Instagram post before I did. And he said to me, I had some
mind your own darn business.
No, he told me he got inside information. He said he heard before anyone did that there would be a drop at that location. So here's the thing, Virginians. And this is kind of the center of state-run. Yeah, and virgins, if you're into that.
Cole's not, because he's having a state-run controversy.
I did it. So I saw something like that on Instagram, or like a meme that was like, some dudes just want to be proud to be a dad just so they could say, they did it. So
my wedding night, I got Chelsea a little certificate,
Did you really?
I did. It was, what was it? It was like a ribbon that says, I did it. So...
Wait, you got her one or you got yourself one?
I got her one. Yeah.
That's nice. That's good.
It was not.
Anyway.
I probably shouldn't have said that on the podcast.
No, it's great. But anyway, Virginia is kind of the center of like the controversy of like allocated bourbon right now, which I live in. But here's the thing. It's no better. And like some people are like acting like it's better now, but like, hey, if people are like, it used to be that people show up hours before the ABC store opens, and then they get their allocated whiskey that no one else was able to get before them. It's the same thing now. It's just people show up before the drop. So, and I know Virginia ABC probably is aware of this, but then here's the other thing is that not only did he show up before the drop was announced, he showed up and told me, he said, not only that, he said they also mentioned that there was going to be a one of like, so when they do lotteries and so if someone wins the lottery, they have the opportunity to purchase a bottle. And then, so apparently if no one actually steps up and actually purchases the bottle, they'll drop it with the rest of the allocated normal drop. So he told me there was also one bottle that was put up with the drop that was a non-collected lottery bottle. And I'm like, okay, so that means someone knew something very special to be able to get this bottle. So it kind of gives me a little less hope for the process they're doing, because there's still inside people that are giving out the information and probably getting paid good money for it. So it's like, where's the bottles? I don't know. It's not like I'm going to get them. So I'm a little frustrated. Here's the thing. Would I pay to get that knowledge, I still don't feel like that's right. I still don't feel like that's fair. And so even if I were given the opportunity to get the inside information, I just feel like I'd rather have an equal opportunity. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I think of that article.
So it's funny because yesterday, Chelsea, she has a coworker whose birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Lee.
Happy birthday.
Was last week, so by the time this comes out, belated birthday, Lee. But he likes whiskey, and she's like, "Can you pick him up a bottle of whiskey?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll grab him something." And as I was leaving, somebody was like, "Oh, hey, like, is that good?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, like this is probably one of my favorite bottles to get." And we were just talking about how things have changed in Idaho, and it's one of those things where it's like, I think Idaho's doing a better job after saying what you've said. That being said, I've heard people who do get inside drops, but with what Idaho does is they don't announce it. You got to kind of show up to your liquor stores. Like,
that's what it used to be here.
Yeah. Certain liquor stores get the drop, and you grab it. Oh, sweet. They have this, they have that, or they don't. So you just got to kind of show up every day, which is kind of frustrating because I used to know the schedule of when things would get on the shelves. And so I hit up my favorite liquor store to get that drop. Like, oh, nothing. Okay, cool, man. All right, cool. We'll see you next week. Or like, oh, you actually have this. I'll grab that instead. And so it was kind of a nice in between of the non-state run where it's like I got to get relationships with people in the store.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, yeah, no, hey, maybe come back next week. And you'd be like, oh, okay, I'll come back next week, because you just kind of talk and like you get that connection with people. So
build something. Yeah.
But no, I think it is. I think it is cheap to get that insider information, and like. But the other thing with that is like there's a lot of good whiskey out there. Do I need to have the best stuff on my shelf? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of other good stuff. Like even this, like what we drank today. It's like, was it the greatest? Would it be worth getting the inside information to grab? Not this bottle, but if it's there, get it. It's okay. Yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. So
no, it's. I look forward to the day where it is fair. I really hope they find the rat and can get justice, because like here's the thing. I'll be honest. If someone said, "Hey, do you want in of this inside information?" I'd be like, "Yes," so that I could expose them. To be honest, because I'm not a narc, but I am.
I
am when it comes to justice. Yeah.
Blow that whistle.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Better not share with me if you don't want to get narked out. So that's what I gotta say.
I'm on like and maybe we lose listeners over this, but I am in favor of narking. Like honestly,
if like something like this, I'll narc.
I think in general, where it's like justice or integrity on the line.
Justice.
If I know somebody like, and I've thought about this, where if I have a friend who I know is cheating on their wife, I got no problem exposing you.
To the wife, or like, are you going to talk to the dude first?
I'll talk to the dude and say, listen, in T-minus 10 seconds, I'm running to your wife's house. And I run as fast as I can.
Narc, 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 narc. Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things
I'm like, I think there's something about justice. It's like Batman. No. We're basically Batman.
We are the Batmen.
That's deep.
We're menly bats.
Justice.
Where are you hurting? That's
wait. What's the storm's coming? I love that line.
I do a better Bane. Bane's
you gotta have like a mug to your face. You're like, oh, you think the darkness is your ally? Although that doesn't work with that mug or that coupe glass. Don't work.
Yeah. Yes, you adopt the darkness. Yeah. I was born in the dark. So Finley she does like an inhaler, and she's got a thing over her nose. I know I've said this to you, but where it's like every time she does like her inhaler, we'll say, "Where were you born?" She goes, "I was born in the darkness." Like, it cracks me.
You never told me that. I don't think
we didn't tell you that.
I don't think so.
Oh, I swear we sent it at some point. I'll have to send it to you. But yeah, every time she does like inhaler, it's got this mask over her face.
Nope.
Yeah,
that's so
great.
funny.
All right. All right. That means it's time for what whiskey would you choose? Last week we talked about what was your whiskey of the year, and I did a bad job. I should have posted yesterday.
It's all good.
Today.
I did a poor job too.
Whatever. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
But as of recording time, what was your whiskey of the year? Cole said his was Russell's 13. I said Redbreast 27. And at this point, we're Cole's 53% for Russell's.
Wow.
47% for Redbreast, which I'm surprised. Like
just
I thought
barely.
At this point, you're correct. Excuse me. I was born in the darkness. And I thought Russell's, like, more people probably have had Russell's 13 than Redbreast 27. So anyway, Miles Ferguson killed 518 set Lefroy Glore, which is a great. And Cole's entry buzz 2 weeks in a row on it. The Smoke Oak. First time we've heard of Smoke Oak. Hit us up more often.
I like that. Yeah, hit us up. We want to hear from you. 2022
Four Roses LE.
Limited edition. We had that. Edition.
Yeah. Les Roses.
Les.
Brotask Canascosa, our Canadian turtle friend, said Catoctin Creek.
Catoctin Creek? Yeah, that's from Virginia.
Roundstone Rye Cask Strength. Surprised me.
Apparently very good.
Worth the quality for the price. Nice.
I got to try it. I haven't tried it recently.
And then our good friend, John Friggin Voldemort Hughes.
What a guy.
Roses. Russell's RR13. What's RR13?
Russell's Reserve.
Russell Reserve. Okay, Reserve. Like the second R threw me. Seems to be it for me. Just kidding. It was Michter's Celebration. That's not a real bottle.
Yeah, I don't get what he said there, but if he had the opportunity to try Michter's Celebration, I'm very impressed because that's like.
And John hit us up.
No one drinks that bottle.
Elaborate.
Yeah, John. And share. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. Although, you know what? John cares and shares so much.
Oh, he does.
You don't need to shares no more because we cares so more.
Oh, we cares. And all right. This week on what whiskey would you choose? What should we be thinking about? What is our question this week, Robbie?
Oh, God, darn it. We had it. I forgot about it.
Regarding what is your speaking of bourbon bargains?
Bourbon topics. Here we go. What is your bargain bourbon? What is a bargain bourbon for you that you feel is like you can find it, you can buy it? I know we've probably done this before, similarly to what we're doing right now. But what is your bargain bourbon right now? You can find it, you can buy it. The spouse isn't going to get too upset at you.
Yep.
What is your bargain bourbon? Cole, what you got, bro?
Here's the thing: is that I feel like a bargain bourbon should be available most times. Burgundy wines. No.
Have you watched Trolls?
No. Have you?
Soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Burgans. Cool. Burgans are the people who eat trolls. Yeah.
Heinous.
You'll be there soon.
That sounds good.
Heinous. Speaking of
heinous,
how's your heinous doing?
Oh, it's doing. And that's the thing is that, I feel like, bargain bourbons should be available most times you go to the store. That's the thing about bargain is it's also decently available.
Yep.
So whenever I go to the store, it's a bourbon. But whenever I go to the ABC store, I do see Four Roses small batch select. And it's about $50, which to me is a bargain for a really good bourbon, like such as small batch select. So that's kind of my go-to when I want something reasonable, but also available and also really not that expensive at all. So I'm going to go with Four Roses small batch select.
Perfect. We are about in the same neighborhood. Now, I will say one man's treasure is one man's trash is another man's treasure. So depending on your level of like how much you're going to pay, I thought I was going to go high on this, but I'm going with Wild Turkey Rare Breed.
Nice. It's about 50.
Pretty much 60. Always there. It's about 42, $43. Yeah.
Oh,
well, no, it's probably about 47, 45. Okay. It was on sale. Nice. That was the bottle I bought for Lee for his birthday for my wife to give to her.
Rye or bourbon?
Just the bourbon. Rye is a little more expensive, but the bourbon rare breed. I feel like you can pretty much always find it, and it is a great higher proof. Like I was talking to a guy at the liquor store, and I was like, "This is kind of like if Stag Junior was at this point. Like you can find this easily. Like they'd be pretty comparable, but it's just not. Like Stag Junior is great, but this is available, and that's kind of where I go. Sure. I feel like it's a good bargain for the buck.
Yeah,
good bang for your bucko. So that's that. Yes. So what?
I gotta
so next your
week.
Pants.
Sew your pants up because they're ripped down the front.
Cool. Can I say this real quick? Oh, you got it.
Say it.
Go.
No,
you go.
You got it because I'm still looking up what we're going to be drinking next week.
I was going to say we went short last week. Last week I had Calamity in the front room. We're going long today, and that's all right. New year, new us, new you.
Yeah. Oh, that's for
Mountain
Dew.
Hootie Hoo. Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie and the Blowfish. Yeah. Look at us.
Oh, look what we got there. We mind melded.
Yeah.
Because all right. I only want to be with Cole.
I only want to be with you.
Yoo-hoo. Chocolate milk.
Chocolate drink.
Watered down chocolate. Limp Biscuit. Chocolate starfish. Oh, we almost got
there. That's funny. All right, so I want to drink something that's different next week. I want to drink like your average brand. I want to drink something that'll have good history to it. So I'm gonna go between Hill Rock Estate Solera aged bourbon and did we do the minor case yet?
We have not.
Okay, minor case rye. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So minor case rye and Hill Rock Estate Solera aged bourbon. So keep an eye out on Tuesday.
It sounds like it might be a mismatch there.
I don't know what either of them taste like. So
okay,
maybe our listeners will be like, obviously this one.
You mean like the word estate, and I'm like, well, it's got to be way nicer.
Fancy. Yeah, who knows?
Estate versus a minor case. Hui.
Yeah, it's minor. It's
I hope our listeners can figure that out.
Yeah, I hope. Was that a hiccup?
Maybe. No, I hit my chair on the table.
Oh, that was what happened. Oh, yeah. Well, I hope that your hiccups go away soon.
And I hope, Cole, your hiccups can turn into hip downs.
And I hope, most of all, listeners, that our love of whiskey spirits lifted your whiskey spirits.
Voila.
Viola.
Viola.